Seated. Our sermon today is taken from 1 Kings chapter 8, and today we're going to be reading verses 54 through 66, finishing up the chapter. Now, just a note, there are two main parts in this section. There is the benediction that's given by Solomon in the beginning, section verses 54 through 61. And then after that, we have verses 62 to 66. And what is that? That is actually a record of the great feast that Solomon held immediately after the conclusion of the dedication service, a time of great feasting and joy for Israel. But before we read the Word of God, let's seek the face of God. Let's ask for His blessing. God our Father, as I read your word today, I pray, Lord, that I would become transparent, that your people would see only you and your goodness to them. I pray, Lord, that they would see how Solomon intervened. He interceded for your congregation, and as such was a type of Christ. But we know that every mortal man in the Bible falls far short of the standard he set. So while Christ is sui generis, without equal, we understand, Lord, that there were many types and shadows given in the Old Testament to point men to Christ, to remind them of the great promise that was given even in Genesis 3:15, that the seed of the woman would crush the head of the serpent. Help us as we see Solomon and the temple to see those types and shadows that pointed forward to the coming of the Lord, who epitomized the prophet, the priest, the king, the temple, and meeting place where God and man meet and where they are reconciled. Oh Lord, now help us to understand. We know that as we enter into the